Hello, my lovelies. Mia and I are back to talk Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett, episodes 3, The Streets of Mos Espa. Mia, how did you like it overall? We always start with how did we like it, what were our overall thoughts before we go through the scenes.
Okay, so I liked it. I didn't love it like the other two. The other two
Yeah,
were much better, but I liked it still. I did like the fact that the past and present were kind of connected. That what we
yeah,
see in the past just gives us the more story of the present. So that was cool.
yeah.
What would you
Yeah.
give it? What rating would you give it?
Okay, so now it's me rating. Well, I think the last one, did I give it a 10? Well, maybe I gave it a
I think nine
9.5.
and a half or something. Yeah.
Yeah, 9.5. I mean, let's be overcritical here. So I would rate this one like a 6.5. But, hear me out. There were good moments and everything. And I'm not a negative person. You're not a negative person.
No,
So
no.
what I want to say overall is, I think you can only judge a series when you've seen everything, right? So I don't feel like because before we came on, it literally dropped. When did it drop? Like 2 hours ago. We were always like very early. As soon as it drops, we hit click.
Immediately.
Yeah.
It's not
And then
even
we
at 9. I think it's like 8:55 or something like that, and I
yeah.
immediately just start watching.
Yeah, and then we basically record right after that. But the thing is, I saw a few negative, negative feedback. But these people are everywhere, and it's totally fine not to like something. That is, totally up to you. But I enjoyed parts of it, and I think it was important to tell whatever the things we're going to talk about now. It is important to tell these things. You can't, like leave it out, and there can't always be a big boss fight, although there was a tiny one.
There was, yeah.
So yeah, how would you rate it?
Now, I would give it, let's say, 8. Let's put, since everything is 10 for
Ooh.
me, I would give it 8. But that's because I'm a type of person that always kind of switches to positive. So I'm not gonna search
Yeah,
what I don't like in it. I'm gonna search what I
no,
liked in it, and I liked a lot of things. So
yeah.
yeah, the let's start. So who do you think this little spider brainy thing belongs to? Do you have any idea?
Oh yeah, no, we know. Those are so the old inhabitants of the place, of Jabba's
The
palace.
Bomar. You mean
Yes,
the
so the monks.
yeah. But they also wanted to put Bib's consciousness into one. That was supposed to be
Yeah,
sort of his punishment, right? Although I
it,
don't know if it's
it,
punishment or not, but okay. But who is this one belong to then? Like to a person? Do you have suspicions? No.
No, do you really think that was it? I thought it was more of a visual, and I don't think it was. Do you? Oh, so you think
I'm
that
not
there
sure
is this?
because this spider thingy is in a trailer, and I don't think they
Yeah.
would put something insignificant in it. They wouldn't put just like
Oh,
B-roll. I don't. But then again, I don't know how the editors think. So I don't know. I just feel
yeah.
like in a trailer there wouldn't be really B-rolls. It would be more something what matters
Yeah,
to the
I
story.
thought it would give more the vibe of, a lot of people have inhabited this castle or this, nunnery or whatever it was once. So I think it stood more for like, and everybody's still alive in a way, right? Like
Yeah,
Boba
just
supposed to be dead, still alive. Then, the monks, Jabba took over the palace from them basically, but they're in a way still alive. So it stood more for that for me, but maybe the essence of somebody. Maybe it's Darth Maul. He's never dead, like he
ooh,
can't
that
die.
would be
No,
cool.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, but it's just a joke because dude never dies basically, and nobody's dead in Star Wars until you see a dead body. So that's what we learned.
Well, even then.
Yeah. Yeah, see Darth Maul. Okay, so yeah, I mean, but it's cool, it's cool to see these things, and if like Clone Wars and stuff like that, you have a lot of these characters, right? Yeah. So
Yeah, I started
anyway,
watching it. I actually saw again Solo because I didn't remember anything. So last time when you
yeah.
spoke of Kira, I was like, okay, I have to watch it now just to remember. And then I watched it again and I started Clone Wars, but there's so many episodes. I don't think we're gonna be done. I'm gonna be done with it by the end of Boba.
Yeah, Clone Wars. Not even like this is real dedication. I mean, the episodes are quite short. It's like 21
They
minutes or
are.
20. Yeah,
They're
yeah,
very
yeah. But
interesting, and I like that there's a lot about Obi, and it's like Obi coming, So now I just feel like it's my duty to see it all. I just have
no, it's really good to prepare because we don't know that much actually about Obi. Obviously, he's one of the most important characters, but you don't know that much. I can only recommend to you the Master and Apprentice book. It's
to.
about Qui-Gon and him, and it's really really good. And there's a bit Dooku in there as well. So
Cool.
it's a good
Okay,
book.
if there is an Audible, I'm buying it today because I'm like so
It's on
lazy
our,
to read.
it's on Audible. Yes.
Cool, cool, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Then I'm gonna get it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
never have time to actually read. Having a
I
kid and
know.
all I read is Disney. Disney.
Yeah. Well, this is Disney. Welcome to
Yeah, yeah.
Disney. It is Disney. Okay, so the Streets of Mos Espa. So the director, and I think you felt it, was Robert Rodriguez again. And I mean, spoiler, like seriously, I mean, I'll fast forward a bit now, but we got effing Machete. Like I
Oh
died
my
when
god,
I saw
that was
Danny
cool.
Trejo. I didn't know. Did you know he had a
No,
role
I
in
didn't
that?
know. I didn't know. And when I saw him, I was like, wait, last time I saw something with him was Flash actually, and I was like, oh, so
Mhm.
cool! They brought him on this show. Yeah,
Yeah, oh my,
yeah,
like he'll always be, Machete for me, but make this about Machete kills. But I was like, what the F? No way. But they're really close friends, and he showed up in he cast him for a lot of movies. So yes, it made sense. Like maybe Amber Hart will show up in the next one, who knows? But yes, so the Streets of Mos Espa. So it overall, what I want to say, and maybe you have the same feeling, I feel this whole show is very like it's a bit like a chess game, and you never know because I'm like, okay, but who's with who now? I don't understand. And
hmm
normally in Star Wars, you kind of can guess, and you don't have that many fractions because here you have now the Pyke Syndicate. Maybe there's maybe Black Sun is still alive, maybe Crimson Dawn, the reminiscent of
exactly.
Crimson Dawn, so all the syndicates. Then you have the Huts, then you have Boba and his crew, then you have these other crews, maybe there's somebody else on Mos Eisley, then you have the mayor, then there's like so many, this is like
Yeah,
very confusing, not in a negative way, but normally you have good versus evil, right? You have like
yeah, and you
two
exactly
two
know who
parties.
belongs to whom, and now it's a little bit of a yeah. But I think it makes it more interesting this way.
Yes.
Also, for me it's much better because I love these guessing games in movies, and
Yeah.
I like it that not everything is just put out there. It was
Yeah.
really cool. I did you know? So how does it start? By 8D8. Finally, I I said his name right. Correct.
You know the names. You're the person to
he's,
go to for the
he's
names.
he's doing like a briefing, right? And he's saying now who has like Trandoshans have the city center,
Yeah.
and what's the name of Aqualish are in the working district, and that's the district we see the most. And then the
Yes.
third ones, I maybe you know more about them. Is it Catonians? I don't know anything
Tritonians.
about.
Yeah.
I
They
don't know
have the
anything about.
starport. Yeah. Never heard of them. But again,
Okay.
we never have time to look anything up. Never heard of them. But they're new races introduced all the time. So yeah, you're right. So that was really cool. No, so they finally explained that Bib
Yeah,
was not a strong ruler, and he basically had three families. So he was more like the figurehead, but he wasn't really,
exactly.
the man
Yeah.
in power.
Yeah, that's we find out that unlike Jabba, he was very weak and he had to rely on his alliances. And then
Yeah,
again, he was working with or for
yeah,
Mokshais, who's
Yeah.
now is working with Pyke Syndicate. So that's a quite interesting turn of the story for me,
I
and
know. I know.
especially because of the past, and that and all of that. Was that all we find out before he is back to Bacta?
Yeah, I
Uh,
think.
I
Well,
think
yeah,
so.
he
Yeah,
said, so there was a vacuum after Jabba died, and this is how it went on. And he said a very important sentence. He said, everyone is waiting what kind of leader you
yeah,
will be. And I
yeah,
think this
yeah.
is exactly because, you always ask yourself, why does nobody really shows allegiance to anyone? Everybody, this is what I mean, with this looks like a game in a way, or like a spy game, or what, because everybody is like, waiting and seeing how strong is he. And the assassination attempt, maybe that was also just to see how strong is he,
And
can
how
he
is he
fight
going
them
to
off.
respond as well? Yeah. Oh no,
Yeah.
there is a scene. There is a scene where this Larta Peel, this water manger,
Yeah.
what's his name? He
Watermonger. Yeah.
Monger,
Hmm.
yeah, he's coming
Hmm.
and he's saying that this gang is attacking him. That's like half human, half droid, right? And he wants Boba to take care of him, and then
Yeah.
he's gonna pay him a double tribute. So yeah, it's actually then is the scene with them, and I really like this
Yeah.
scene because this is where he strongly says, I am Boba Fett. I really, this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also about, sorry, you want to say
No, no, no.
no, I just wanted to say how the way he handled it, it's a little bit of a Robin Hood for me, and I loved it. I
Mhm.
just loved the way he handles that.
Yeah. No, no, definitely the scene, and it pays because you would think, and I think this is how Jabba would have ruled, because he worked a lot with bounty hunters and all these people, and I think you could get the idea. Well, Boba, he needs money as well. This is how this whole being a crime lord works, and you would think, okay, he offers him double. So when he sees these kid gang, this motorcycle kid gang, right? I call them the Power Rangers because they literally look like the Power Rangers with their bikes.
It does.
But these Tatooine Power Rangers, he could easily, like do whatever to them and then let him pay double the money. He doesn't. He says no to the money basically, but he hires the kids and he tells him, think about your prices again. And I think I didn't understand that in the first two episodes. I don't know if you catched it, or you people out there. So I really think, because for me, this daimo, never heard that word before, but this daimo thingy always meant being the crime lord of Tatooine. But it's not. A daimo is actually somebody who rules fair and who does exactly what Boba does. And this is what the girl was pointing out. She said, you're just
Yeah, there's
another
no work,
crime
there's
lord.
no
You're
jobs.
not a daimo. Yeah, a daimo would be a true kid, like you said with Robin Hood, right? That would be a wise and good ruler who rules according to whatever laws, right? And who's fair. And this is what Boba wants to be. But she accused him, and everybody thinks, well, he's just another crime lord. And crime lords don't play by the rules, right? They just think about themselves. I think a daimo is somebody who would have the best interest, like a mayor of the city, right? And I never understood that in the beginning. And I think this is what the essence of this story is. Are you a crime lord? Are you a bounty hunter, or are you a daimo, like a father, but not the godfather, but a father? This is all about the family. And Ming-Na Wen, she even said, you know you have a family now. um
Yeah, but
and
he
yeah,
he
I
had
really,
family in the past because Tuscans, they were his
yeah,
family, so he learned
they
how
were,
to how to be a family member,
yeah,
even a leader at many actually occasions.
yeah,
And I think that this is a huge transformation for him. Like, we know him as a bounty hunter,
yeah,
ruthless.
yeah,
He's always gonna go for money. He's never gonna think of anyone else. And ever since the first scene with that Rhodian, we see him
yeah,
really being fair, and I love that. I
yeah,
love that they're showing how he's actually fair and how you can be
yeah,
um, respected without being so much feared.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the dream
yeah.
of any parent, you know.
I know. I know. But the thing is, and tell me what you think. So what I do not like, and this is my one of my only negative thingies I have about the series, why is he still so effing weak? I understand in a way, that when you are the head of the family, it's a bit like the lion and the lioness, like the girls always fight, right? They get the food, and then the
Yeah,
male comes in, the lion comes in and takes the major share, but he's not fighting, although he can fight, and just his pure presence, right, scares off a lot of others, right,
true.
other males. But the thing is, I don't understand, why is Boba still so weak? Because he wasn't weak in the Mandalorian. He really,
Indeed.
put it all out there. And he the way he's portrayed, I understand that everybody in the city is like, yeah, I'm not really
Yeah,
scared
he's
of
not
you.
respected yet.
No.
Yeah.
And yes, he has these kids now, but at this point in time, shouldn't he have like an army? He must have money.
Well, he
So
will have one because the war is coming, so he will need one. And he
I
said
know.
they will be ready. So
I
probably,
know.
uh, we don't know. I think it's a gap between the Mandalorian and between
Yes,
the
yes,
Book
yes.
of
There's a
Boba. There is a
yeah.
gap that maybe they actually explain in a story. Because why is
Yeah.
he spending so much time in Bacta, except for us to see the past, which is also cool. But he is still healing. Obviously, he didn't
Yeah.
heal from whatever happened. So uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's maybe a little bit of a part of the answer on your question, why is he still portrayed as so weak? Because indeed he is portrayed
Yeah.
quite weaker than he was in movies and
Yeah,
originally.
yeah. And, yeah, if there's a reason behind it, but it's not only him, his person being weak. It's like the whole thing. Like, where are all these? He has the two guards, then he has, Fennec, and now he has, the Power Ranger kids. But that's it, basically. So I do think Black Chrysanthemum, whatever his name is, evil, evil
Yeah. Evil
Chewie,
Wookiee.
Evil Wookie, Evil Chewie. I think he'll be back and he'll hire him. And maybe not this season, maybe next season, whatever.
And he
But
will probably team up with Bosk as well at some point.
yeah, do you think so?
Hmm.
I I think
I
so.
I do and hope so. Do and
Yeah.
hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, or like Cad Bane, like all these bounty hunters. I really do think he will start hiring bounty hunters. Again, I think he has money. I don't know where he has money. He paid that water person.
Yeah, just like
Um,
that. It was so simple. So he does. If he can bring so much money on him,
yeah,
then probably. But he gets a lot of tribute. He doesn't get tribute only in food. There is money as well. He got he
yeah.
got credits in the
Yeah,
episode
but he
one.
lost it all. Yeah, but he lost it all.
I know.
Yeah, but no, I know
Yeah.
what you mean. No, he has some money. So I really do think he's gearing finally, but that's like episode 4 out of 7. So it's a bit late, but anyway, because I felt like, they live in this bloody palace and there are literally 3 people in this palace for like 3 episodes.
But
I don't know.
don't you think that also shows them as mighty because they don't need the whole army? They're so powerful that in fact the three, four with the
Yeah,
five
4. Yeah. Yeah.
five with the with droid. So maybe that's also
Yeah.
something to think about. This shows them also when they take on, and look how there were only 4 of them, right, when they went to
Yeah.
talk to this gang, the street gang.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there were street gang was many more, but exactly because of his attitude he got them to work for him.
Yeah.
So maybe it's also about that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, when Star Wars, it's always like fighting armies. It's like armies coming in. It's like
Yeah,
100 stormtrooper. It's like, you're used to, these big assemblies, right? And this is just, a few people. But again, the universe is a bit smaller in this one because it's just about literally a city. It's about Mos
yeah, it's about
Espa, right? It's not even about whole
no, Mos Espa
Tatooine.
and Mos Eisley, but I think it's
I
about
think Mos Eisley has
Tatooine.
their own. I think Mos Eisley is another thing, because they mentioned Mos Eisley and he said, go back to Mos Eisley. And I think
And in
he's
the
not
past, we
ruling
see him in Mos Eisley. No, no, no. He's not ruling. He's
yeah
ruling only. I think Mos
in
Espa.
Espa.
Indeed,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So again, yeah. But I think you're right. I think we'll see that. But let's go back to the scene, because yeah, I really, so he, he goes to that gang, then hires the kids, and goes basically back home. And we see the flashbacks,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah, we see him on the again on Camino, and this time it's a different scene. I actually like it how every time it's a similar
Yeah.
scene. We see Slave One leaving, but it's a different scene, so something will happen there. The
Yeah.
story will go further in one of the episodes for sure. And then,
Yeah,
of
I
course,
think so.
he's riding the Banta, and he's going to Mos Eisley. Did you like seeing troopers? Yeah, okay, only their heads on the pikes, but I think it was still fun to see them
Yeah, we had that in
in the
Mando as
show.
well, when he comes to well, one of the last scenes in season 1, yeah. So anyway, I liked it, obviously. But yeah, so the flashback. So now it becomes really sad, and as we said, this is about family, and he
Yeah.
just found his family an episode earlier, and he goes out to collect the tribute, and we learn well, that this, I think I took a note what this biker gang's name is, but I
Kintan Striders, and he
yeah,
calls them
Kinton.
Nikto Sand Riders. Yeah,
Yeah,
Kintan
exactly.
Striders. Now we
Yeah,
finally know the gang who is leaving the marks.
exactly,
Now
with
we
the
finally know.
symbol,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And okay, and he says, we outnumber them. You only pay tribute to us.
Yeah, when he speaks to
Um,
Pikes, yeah, because they don't want to pay double, which is
Yeah, which
normal.
makes
Yeah.
sense. And okay, so listen to my theory, and I really, this is what I think is happening. I think the Pikes did all this because he then came, to he went back home, to tell the Sand People, his family, his newfound family, we need to. I think this is what he would told them. We need to get rid of them, basically, right?
Yeah.
Um, and well, they're
And
all dead.
the
Yeah,
scene was this was the most powerful scene of the episode again, and you can
yeah,
hear it in the music when you hear those vocals, then you know
yeah,
something is coming, and just seeing all the tents burning, and
yeah.
I, oh my god, how many bantas can they kill in on this show? Really, like
I felt the
how,
same. It was like
how
seriously
many
like the kill
more?
count of bantas, like the kill count of bantas.
I
But
mean,
then we saw herds of them. That there are more.
yeah, but
Um,
there is like the Tuscans. It's very beautiful how he does
mhm.
this ceremony, which we've
Yes.
seen also,
Yeah.
and burns the dead. But also there were not so many on a pile. So your theory that they might show up and be his aide later on, I think it's
And
possible.
the female fighter. So we
She
learned,
was not
the
there. Yeah,
exactly. So she was not there. So I really do think she'll be back.
do you think they had something maybe in the
I don't
past?
know.
I
Yeah,
think there is a possibility.
oh my god, they're like little babies, running around. Anyway,
Yeah, that would be
um,
cool. That's for another show.
yeah. But yeah, so yeah, that was really, really sad. But I really do think the whole thing for the Pike Syndicate is to cut out the middleman.
Mhm.
I think because them coming, look, this is the end of the empire, right? The whole galaxy is in disarray, everybody basically in the outer rim, and, in the world's not fully controlled by the New Republic. They're doing whatever
Mhm.
they want. This is what we learned from the Mandalorian. They don't even have the men, to come to Mos Espa and take care of, a crime lord or whatever syndicate to like doing this. And I think they are, like they're using this vacuum again, another
I
vacuum.
think
And I
so,
think the
yeah.
Pike, yeah, and I think they tell themselves, why pay for these middlemen, or why pay tribute to anyone, or why pay single or double or whatever when we can do it on our own? We just literally bring in, I don't know, 100, 200, 300 men, and then we take over the whole chain, right? So from production on Kessel till, delivering whatever, the spice.
Yeah,
I
and now
think,
they want to, now they are rulers of like Jabba's territory as well. Well,
yeah,
I also think there is something about the scenes. When Boba sees the symbol from
yeah.
from these riders, bikers,
Hmm.
whatever,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
then he remembers the one from the past. They are different color. I don't know if the color matters or not, but that also gave me an idea that I also really think they weren't the one who killed them, but in fact it was the
Yeah,
Pikes who just
I,
staged it like that,
I think so.
and this is what gives depth to the story, that he's gonna now have to go to war with Pikes because he has another reason to fight
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
the deeper one.
And and the thing is, because I said this from the beginning, I still think there is a bigger fish, because there's always a bigger fish. And I don't know if you remember that scene before we came to Jabba's palace. There was one scene of one of these animals lying there in the sand, and there was one
Mhm.
little
Yeah, yeah, and then
bird or
grabbed by
whatever.
the
And
bird,
then,
and then
but
the third
something
one
else
ate them.
wanted to grab the bird, and the third one made it. And this is
Exactly.
literally stands for, there's always a bigger fish,
Yeah.
who's behind this, and who's in the end, eating all the pie.
This is why I also don't think that spidery thing is just a B-roll. I really think
Oh,
it's something.
okay.
But let's see about that. Yeah, and
Okay.
then
Well,
the way they this time he went out of the Bacta was really cool. Like when the chrysanthemum grabs him out in this little underwear, but underwear is really cool.
yeah, I
I give
think, or
10
he
out of
wore
10.
underwear. Yeah, yeah, 10 out of
Exactly.
10 for the underwear. Okay. Yeah, we make like fashion
Fat fashion.
yeah. So yes, that was such a cool scene. And again, I was a teeny tiny bit disappointed that it wasn't the boss fight I was hoping for, and that Boba, but then this is literally the
He's
most
really
evil and
strong.
most
Yeah.
powerful Wookiee I've ever seen. So, and Boba wasn't wearing his armor. It was just him. He didn't even have the stick in the beginning, right? It's literally somebody wakes you up from sleeping
Yeah, yeah,
and
and then
tries to
just
kill you.
fly.
Yeah, so okay, I
He
give him
did
that.
good with what he had. He did good, and this is cool because this where we
Yeah,
saw the gang that's on his side. They came to aid, and
yeah,
the Gamorreans, and of course Fennec saves the day always. That's she's the coolest one.
yeah,
And this is also the scene after when Gamorrean got bitten
yeah.
strongly, and when Boba says like put him to my back, this I really don't know how is he going to fit in it, but doesn't matter. Let's put that aside. This show is so beautiful, he's really good towards his followers. Yeah.
Employees,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And
employees.
I
Yeah,
like that he employed, these kids, right? He could have just
yeah,
told them, because he said in the beginning, he said, get a job. And they were like, but there are no jobs. And then he was like, okay, good, then you work for me. And you see all these people, I don't know, maybe one of them will betray him. We don't know. But you see the loyalty, because he gave them some purpose, right? Obviously, he gives them water and food and whatnot, but he also gave them purpose. And I think that is a very strong message as well, right? um
yeah. And after they win, right, and then there's this scene with so much food that's so heavy for me because I'm doing intermittent fasting, and since recently I started fasting for 18 hours, and this episode is like 3 hours before my breakfast time. So when I saw all the foods there, my stomach was
yeah,
growling.
it's like
but
Christmas every day.
but that was it showed the power as well, and I like how then he speaks to Fennec. Yeah, we need to respond, uh, and we need to do something about it. And then
Yeah.
the hats with the gift, oh my god, oh, just
Okay, so let's talk about the hearts.
yeah.
Because again, I didn't. So they came pretty quickly. I would say this is not like a week after the attack, right? This is a day or whatever after the attack. So apparently, okay, yes, Black Chrysanthemum didn't come back to them, telling them, okay, killed him. Where's my
Yeah.
money? So they must know. Okay, so Boba is still alive. So they came to the palace, and what I don't understand now, before we talk about the gift they brought and everything, um, why? So they told him, oh no, we're no longer interested in Mos Espa because there's another, we've both been lied to, and there's another syndicate behind all of this. And literally, dude, I'm not touching this. So, but his theory is, and I think he's right in a way. I think the Huts now, they are like, there are too many fractions. There are too many, wars to fight. We're not doing this. We let the mayor and all the other people. We let them all fight each other, and whoever is left, we will fight. I do think that's their thinking. But they must have known that the Pikes are behind all of this before. They can't be so clueless. So why did they try in the beginning? Like, I don't understand that. Or why did they themselves wanted to kill Boba if they knew the Pikes are there? It doesn't make any sense. Do you understand
Yeah,
what I
I don't.
say?
Yeah, and I don't think they knew, because the mayor is only like he fled right in this episode. And in this episode, we find out that he is working with the Pikes, but we don't know how long has he how long was he working with them. We don't really know. So maybe this is also a new deal. We don't really know that part.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
really believe that Huts were, they wanted the territory that, like, yeah, it's their heritage in a way, right? But
Yeah.
they keep saying, we don't want war is bad for business,
Yeah.
right? That's they're saying. So
Yeah.
they don't want to fight. They just want to get it and have it. They don't also, they didn't want to fight Boba on the square. They were just saying,
No, no,
sleep
no.
lightly, or
Yeah.
whatever they
Yeah.
told him. So
Yeah.
I think maybe they didn't know before. So when they tell him, like, okay, we've been both lied to, and mayor is working with Pikes, could be a new deal.
Yeah, but I mean, they must, yeah, maybe, but they knew the Pikes, right? Okay, so the mayor and the Pikes gearing teaming up. Okay, I get that. Although the mayor gave them the information about the Huts just the episode before, he tipped them off. The Huts are coming. So this is all, it will make sense hopefully
Yeah, it
later,
doesn't yet
but i'm
completely.
i'm still a bit confused. Like, why did the Hearts, they must have known about the Pikes, so why did they even bother about Boba? They could just have waited and then come in if they're not interested in fighting, come in later. But anyway,
They
this
might still they might still do that. Now they're gonna wait to see what
I think
Pikes
they
and
will
Boba
do.
do, and then
I
they're
think
gonna come back.
I think,
Oh,
and
and
this is what, yeah, and this is what Boba suggested right from the get go. He said, I don't trust them because for them it would be super easy. All the enemies fight each other, and then they swoop in last minute, and that's how
I,
many
I think
wars
I,
in.
I think that's their way anyway. They just want everything easy.
Yeah,
They don't want to fight for anything.
yeah.
Oh, and whenever I see them being carried, I have to. Do you see those guys, like their movements, like the pain on their face?
It's literally the worst job on this planet. I'd rather, I don't know, farm moisture than carry those bloody huts, like two of them. Anyway,
No, I think the worst is that little mouse that's using as a as a sweat wiper.
does he eat him as well, or is it
No, no,
really
no.
just
He
the
just
sweat?
removes the sweat. I think it's for the sweat.
Okay, so maybe that's the worst job on the planet, but
Probably.
okay, okay. So, but then they bring a present with
Yeah, and
some
the present.
machete presents, but it's not Moochie because I think it's boy
No, no, no. It's not
Rancor.
Muchi. It's a calf. We
No,
find out Muchi would be big by now.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
so
yeah,
this is the new. Uh, uh,
yeah.
I loved everything. See, this is the part what I say I love about the episode. Again, just like the
I
Tuscans,
know.
we find out that the Rankers are not just some bloodthirsty beasts. They're
Yeah,
actually they have feelings. This one was
yeah.
depressed. It's too funny.
Yeah.
But
And do you
okay.
remember the scene from Last Jedi when Luke killed the Rancor, right? That dude was really sad. And now it all makes sense because that dude was so sad when the Rancor got killed. And
Yeah.
obviously, these trainers, it's like, when you work in a zoo and you work with lions or whatnot, you really, you feel for these animals. And yes, they are dangerous, but they also,
The,
they are alive and they think and they, um,
they are pretty much described as bulldogs,
yeah.
right? Like they are just created to fight, and
Yeah,
this is what they do best. But they are also very loyal. They imprint
yeah,
on the first person that they see, and that was also such a cute scene when he's opening his eyes and seeing Boba, and
yeah,
Boba is like, "I want to ride him."
yeah. And that was, like in Game of Thrones, people have dragons. They ride
Yeah,
dragons, and it's
yeah,
very
yeah.
similar. With the eyes, because they look very dragon-like. And I was like, okay,
Only
Daenerys
uglier.
Targaryen has her dragons, and Boba Fett has his rancor.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
the his sister, she rode one. She rode Muchi. She
yeah,
comes. They come
yeah, yeah,
together, and she's riding him. And that they are
yeah.
just preparing the story. I'm really
Mm.
maybe not season one, but season two. And
No, yeah,
probably this is why people are quite disappointed with this episode, because there are only seven and they expect a lot more to happen. They expect
yeah.
like action from the start till the finish. And I actually like the little bit of like
Mhm.
calm in the story, and to get
Yeah,
to know more, to connect more. Like you say, there's a lot of still parts that are disconnected, and it would be cool to get a connection. So all
yeah.
in all, I think it was a good episode, and probably we shouldn't watch it as like, we shouldn't see it as season one. It's a part of the bigger
No.
story, so it's gonna
Yeah.
be more. We're gonna
Yeah.
hear more.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I was like, okay, now we fall in love with all the beasts, and you question, the Nate, you question who's the sometimes, and this is very Star Wars like, right? You question who are the good ones and who are the
Yeah,
bad ones, because in Mandalorian this plays out a lot when when the people who work for the reminiscent of the Empire, or the people who used to work for the Empire, just tell you their story, and they're like, those were the guys who took over. They gave me a job. This is what I do. I have to feed my family. So I work for whoever offers me a job. It's not like I work for the evil Lord because I'm evil as well and I'm
yeah.
pro emperor. No, they just had that was what was happening. They took over the planet. If you want to survive, you work for the empire. And are you bad because of that? Then no. And I think this is very often the question Star Wars asks, right? Who are the real baddies? And I like this with the Sand People. We got this, and yeah, I
Rancor
mean,
now as well. I mean, we got the story. I
yeah,
think it's the question of life. In fact, who is what is good and what is bad, and Star Wars really
yeah,
shows that no one is just good or just
hmm,
bad. There's even the good ones did something bad, and the bad ones were once good.
yeah.
I mean,
A
yeah.
former bounty hunter who was just interested, in money, killing people for money, is now apparently a wise ruler. Like, what?
In
Uh,
fact, in this series, everybody is bad to
yeah,
start with, right?
yeah,
They were characters as bad, but now we see their other side, and that's what makes this show so fun.
yeah.
That's why I love
No,
it so much.
yeah,
Yeah,
I love it. Okay, so we got this. Then they go to the mayor's
he
palace,
releases, he
whatever.
lets go Chrysanthemum, and what did he tell him? Don't work for shagholes.
Yeah, but that's for the huts.
Skagholes. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but that's for the huts. Don't work for the
uh,
huts. I've made my experiences. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I think he'll be back. I'm pretty sure they don't
I
introduce this character for nothing, and I still hope. I don't know. Do you know anything about Dr. Afra?
mm,
She's from the comics. She's a really cool character. She's very connected to Darth Vader. And yeah, she's from the comics, and she and Chrysanthemum, they show up in the same like line of comics. So maybe for season 2, 3, whatever, we'll see her because she's still alive. She's like a crazy um yeah if you know, like Dr. Strangelove or these people. She's like a crazy
Mhm.
scientist, basically, but really cool character. So yeah, maybe setting that up. But yeah, so they go to the to the mayor's. Then again, you know, like
It's
there's
so
no
fun.
appointment.
Every time there's and this guy just standing there,
This
like,
is
come
how
on
I feel
here.
going. I know, but this is like how I feel going to a bank or going to, you know,
Yeah,
wherever,
yeah,
and you have to fill out 100 forms anyway.
exactly.
So they go there, you know. Then he, we don't need to talk like he tries to escape. Maya no longer there, and that. Did you like that scene with the bikes chasing the chasing scene?
Yeah, I did. I did. It was a cool.
Yeah,
I mean, it's cool to bring some chase because
yeah.
I know. It reminds you of a prequel. I know immediately.
It's not that. I love the prequels. No, no, no. It's not that. First of all, these bikes are way too shiny and new and colorful.
They're
But like what?
different. They're definitely different. Not
Yeah,
Star Warsy,
not this is not Star
right?
Wars, especially not Tatooine, where everything is shit and looks
Yeah.
shit anyway. Okay, so one little Easter egg. Did you see? Because I had to stop this scene. I was like, "What was that?" There was two guys were carrying a painting of and that was exactly the scene, I think, from the Last Jedi with Jabba. That was the scene in Jabba's palace before Luke comes in. Do you did you see that they were carrying a
I
painting,
I
and
saw
one
the
of the
painting. I didn't see who was in the
that
painting.
was that was the scene, yeah. And like one of the biker kids, you know, he he drove through the painting, and
Yeah,
everybody was like, I mean, it was funny, but yeah, it was my
I
favorite.
think some things they really put just to be funny, you know, like
Yeah,
when the major domo locks himself in and Boba is
yeah,
like, really just lock the door, and then Fennec barges in and curses. I think some things are really made
yeah.
just to be funny. They're not even so much a part of the story as
No, no, no.
just to make the audience laugh. Yeah,
Yeah. And yeah, so that was, so they you know, the chasing scene, and then we learn basically that the Pikes are coming, and you
yeah.
see a lot of them, you know, coming to the planet with one
And this
transporter
guy,
or
the
whatever that
guys
was.
from the gang is reporting to Boba, and also he's like, keep an eye on them, and he's only
Yeah,
got one eye, so the way he looks like, uh,
yeah,
sorry.
it was okay. At least Boba's funny, that we know that
Yeah,
now. Because
definitely.
Django wasn't, as far as we know. Um, yeah. So, so what will happen next? Do you also expect, are the Pikes the biggest fish? Is there somebody else? Are the Pikes? Why do they cut the middleman? Is that what they were doing? What do you expect for the next episodes?
I don't think they are the main baddies, but I don't think we're gonna find that out until the like last 5 minutes of the episode 7. So
Yeah.
probably this is something
Ooh.
that we're gonna more see in the season 2.
Yeah.
Who is he actually standing against? Who is he fighting against? We will see that.
Yeah.
But I I'm just expecting it to be to continue being fun, you know, to get to know more about
Yeah.
his past and about his person, because finally we are getting to know him as a person. And
Yeah.
like you said, you know, we thought he was this bad guy who is just uh, like, you know, destroying everything and everyone, and now we see his soft sides. He definitely has soft
Yeah.
side for rancor, and also, you know, what I liked, when this rancor trainer speaks to him,
Mhm.
he speaks to him as they are equal, like he used to speak
Mhm.
to Vader. Remember,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just now stand there. He doesn't say like, if you would please, my
Yeah. Yeah.
daimyo, if you would stay there. No, just stand there. And
Yeah.
so he has this respect and not at the same time, like
Yeah.
they're yeah, right. That was
Well, if
the
you work with these kind of beasts, you're like, you know, a baddie yourself.
yeah, but you
Probably.
know, I'm like, you know, my soft spot for Darth Vader, so whatever reminds me of him, I'm
I
I'm like,
know.
yeah,
I
this was
know.
it. This was it.
Yeah, no, I really no. I'm excited to see who he's hiring, who because obviously he needs to hire people. He can't win a war against a Pike Syndicate with like four Power Ranger kids. So plus a whole city being against him, basically. So we will see. I do think we'll see because the concept of bounty hunters is introduced with the Huts hiring, evil Chewie. So I do think there will be bounty hunters. And do you actually know how Boba, because the dent, you always see the dent in his helmet. Do you know how he got that?
No.
It's from a fight with a bounty hunter. It's with Cat Bane. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So and again, most of them are still alive, and I think we might see some Clone Wars.
Last I saw Fennec fought Cat Bane in Bad Batch when she was trying to save Omega.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
that was I saw the last. I wanted to say something, but I forgot now.
yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, so I really think this will be cool now, them gearing up for war, and I think now we'll
Oh
see.
yeah, yeah. I think this is now where we see them at the big table from the trailer,
Yes,
the scene when he's with Trandoshan. So this is what
yeah,
you are saying. Probably this is what happens next, because also
yeah,
this like spidery thing, we saw him in the trailer and then we saw him only in this episode.
in
So
this, yeah,
I think now we're gonna see that part as well.
yeah,
And that is gonna be quite
yeah.
cool. I think it's gonna be filled with action the next episode. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Please bring action. Good. So I think we went through it all. Do you have
Totally.
anything?
We managed to
Yeah.
speak longer about the episode than the episode itself
Than the
lasted.
episode was, but that's just me and you and me nodding out on this. Yeah. So thank you very much for everybody who is still here, and yeah, we'll be back next Wednesday. Please, that helps us out a lot. Leave a comment and a like. And yeah, we hope you enjoyed this, and we hope you like Boba Fett as much as we do. And I think the next one will be, as you said, a bit more entertaining, more fighting, more Star Warsy. Okay, till the next one, my lovies. Bye bye.
Bye bye.